So I was asked to do this little video here, and this is a banner unit tier list. Now, I don't even remember the last time I did do a banner unit tier list. I mean, I could probably even like bring it up here. Let me see. Banner units tier list, dude. Yeah, okay, end of 2023. So the last time I did one was December 7th. And that is a banner unit tier list, a top 10. And this is going to be a little different. This is going to be like an actual ranking. So like if you see here, there are like just different rankings. I just have a bunch of these characters that, I feel like I haven't really obviously put in a tier list before. And, banner unit tier list, I feel like I don't really often as like update as frequently as like Dokkan Fest tier list, LR tier list, right? Just because sometimes a lot of them could be hit or miss, but I feel like recently we have been getting pretty good banner units and banner unit EZAs. So we're just gonna go ahead, hop right in here, and we're gonna start. In fact, I'm gonna actually put you just like somewhere up here, just so that the support units are all on the same line here, at least for now. And again, I just grabbed a bunch of the notable ones. Maybe there's one or two from like this list of characters I'm missing, but I just grabbed a bunch of the notable ones I feel like I wanted to talk about today that have some merit talking about, at least a little bit. We're just gonna put this guy here in Kaba. I don't know, he sucks. What a loser. Like I think we can all agree in Kaba is a loser, one of the worst banner units released ever. I think that he should be treasured as such, as one of the worst releases ever for a character. Whereas this guy, yeah, he's just a dumb character. It's like really bad. I don't know. It's terrible. Some people coped for him. It's like, oh my god, he's a 40% support. He sucked. He sucked. Loser. Anyways, continuing on from there, we have Golden Frieza. So I think we're gonna start with a little bit of the oldies, and then we're gonna make our way around. We're gonna try and get to where we have more of the modern banner units here. So, Golden Frieza, I think he is probably gonna be, I would say, still even S tier, but I think I might put him in A tier for now, just to be safe. I might move him up later on in the future. The thing about Golden Frieza, he's banned from a lot of these events. But I think recently we've been getting events where he's not really banned from them. Like, I don't believe he's banned from Supreme Battle Spectacle. I don't believe he's banned from the recent Majin Buu Saga Red Zone, And again, 90% damage reduction if your HP is 40% or more. It's not, like, it's, I would say, relatively rare for you to fall under 40% HP. And you just have like an invincible Salmon character most of the time. Like, this guy can't be killed even now, and he's also an AGL character. So and right now, like in terms of typings, Blue Gogeta, right? Let's say the Cell Max fight. This guy is like probably a great character for the Cell Max fight with this 90% reduction. Takes a super attack probably for very little damage, even though he has very he literally has no defense in his passive. 90% reduction is a lot. Like, that 2.5 mil super from Cell Max is gonna do like only 250k. Like, that's 250k damage he has to take, and you just have more than 250k HP. So no matter what, this guy's taking like 200k from like Cell Max's super or something. So it's pretty cool, right? I think that this Golden Frieza obviously just aged very well, because 90% reduction is such a stupid ability to get through a character. I mean, that's the whole gimmick, but yeah, I think we'll put him at A for now. Maybe I'll move him up to S. We'll see what the other characters are looking like. God Goku, another character, I think I will put an A. Tech God Goku, he has places where he could be used. He is a character that wants to be against movie bosses or Pure Saiyan specifically, which is not gonna be every single event, right? Like, again, we could take a look at some of the harder events of the game. A lot of these events you may not be able to see those kind of enemies, right? But I think where is it in the Broly, what's it called, the Broly Red Zone here, you're able to see this. I think in some of these fights here, you're able to fight some Pure Saiyan enemies. Yeah, the Supreme Battle Spectacle. I'm sure we'll get more Supreme Battle Spectacles in the future. Not like a very common. You can see Golden Frieza, Beerus right here. This movie boss is 2 Red Zone. There are a couple of situations, some Max Bossman. Stage 2, right? Another stage where I think this God Goku is able to work really well. you know, the current newest I guess battlefield enemy is Metal Cooler, and this guy actually works really well there. Not that, you know, I'm gonna like judge him off of a battlefield fight, but you know, I think A tier is probably a good option for this guy, because there's a lot of fights that aren't movie bosses or pure saints, but there are a lot of fights that are, and that could be very difficult. And you know, that guy 77% reduction is a pretty huge number still. He also has the sealing ability, like in Cell Max, being able to seal him pretty good, right? So I do like him there. I think that this God Goku could work very well and across a lot of the game. Chilai, I think we'll put Chilai at A. Yeah, again, there's a nice trend of A characters right here just to start off the thing. I think Chilai has shattering the limits. The thing about Chilai is, wait, I opened the wrong character. Hello, okay, where's Chilai at? The thing about her is she can get touched, obviously. Like, if she doesn't get her 70% chance to dodge, she dies. But she's just doing a lot. She has the scouter, she has sealing, she has stunning, she's a rainbow orb changer, supporting, she heals. She just does do a lot. And even though she's a dodge or die character now, she's not restricted from any certain team comps. She's not restricted in any events. You do have to run her pretty much on Peppy Gals though. Like, you know, in a lot of these teams she may not really fit, because she's not on a lot of category teams. That's the only thing, but she works very well in any event if you're able to bring her. So I think that is a good thing. Okay, let's continue on from here. Again, there's so many banner units right now. Let's go into some of the newer banner units. Let's switch things up a little bit. Let's go from Gotenks and Skinny Boo. I think Gotenks and Skinny Boo, we'll talk about them next right now. I'm not sure if they're in the wiki here. They are. Okay, so we'll talk about these two characters again, just to switch things up here. These are the newest banner units that came on both Global and JP. This Pure Evo Boo, I keep calling him Skinny Boo, but he is Pure Evo Boo. This guy's actually pretty good overall, as long as you're running full Majin power. He does want all allies to be Majin power for him to really be powerful, because the thing about him is he does have this massively raised attack, no other super attack effect, but it gives him a lot of damage, right? He does also have a counter. If he does get this Ki Blast counter off, that attack raise matters quite a bit to him, and he could do some pretty good counters. But he gets guaranteed crits and a guaranteed additional super attack, and the damage this guy is able to do is pretty good. He gets 70% dodge if you're running full Majin power team. You're getting stats and then 10% crit, I guess, separately. Even if you're not running full Majin power, you get one less character, you're still getting at least 60% dodge, 60% crit chance. But ideally, you want to run full Majin power. He gets a lot of stats on super here. He has HP healing. He could survive a KO attack if he gets touched. So like if you don't dodge and you get touched, you still do survive at least one KO attack, which, you know, can help you get Majin Buu's revive. The Tech Fat Buu, like his revive is able to be gone from that. Shares a lot of links with the Tech Fat Buu. I said Tech Fat Buu, Infat Buu, and even like the Exchange Buu as well. He shares a lot of links with them. I think this guy's really good. I think, you know, I haven't really been able to use him in games since I don't actually have him, but from stuff I see, I think this guy actually could be a Z tier banner in it. I think he's quite good. Same with Gotenks actually. So Gotenks actually does get some pretty good stats, because again, if we see here, he gets 177% attack and defense, 77% on super attack. He has 100% attack and defense on super. He builds up stats with each attack evaded. He also does get extra starter turn stats as a second or third attacker, right? He has a great chance to dodge for 7 turns, and then high chance from the 8th turn, so he has a 70% dodge chance as well. Pretty decent link set. I mean, this Gotenks like is a pretty good banner unit. I think the only thing about him is that, you know, him and Boo, I think Boo maybe has some utility because he's like healing and he's like the survive KO. This Gotenks is just mostly just like a good character, and able to do some pretty nice stuff overall. He doesn't really have the utility that I think this Boo does, or like, you know, it'd be nice if like this Gotenks maybe had some supportive abilities, but he does get a lot of crit chance built in there. Again, I'm gonna put him in this Z tier for now. We might move him around. We'll see. How am I feeling about these two? Again, these two are still new, and I feel like, you know, since I haven't really been able to use them in game, this is only judging off of my, like, you know, thoughts on seeing other gameplay stuff of them or seeing their details right here is really all I can go off of. But Yeah, I think this guy is looking pretty nice. So there we go about those two. Next, who should we go from here? I guess let's grab STR Piccolo. I think I'm gonna put him in B tier at this point. STR Piccolo, I think he's like, you know, a little aged out. I think this guy, like, movie bosses is, or movie heroes is still pretty decent category team. Like, there's a lot of good characters on here. We have obviously a lot of the 9th anniversary buffs. We got the Gammas, Beast Gohan. This guy came out. I think the Blue Fusions, Gogeta Blue right here is a pretty decent character still. You know, of course, Super Saiyan 3 Goku kind of fell off a little. He was never really on, to be fair, but you know, you guys get the point. I think Orange Piccolo, still obviously really good. LR Orange Piccolo. You know, we got some of these other brand units here that are really good. Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist Goku, God Goku. Like, this guy is able to be really good. There are still a lot of movie bosses, extreme class enemies, right? Or he doesn't even have to be movie bosses, just extreme class enemies, right? This guy does get extra buffs in terms of support, right? Which is really nice. That allows him to get his 30% reduction plus guard, which, you know, is still able to let him be decently tanky, even though his stats may not be the best, right? 30% reduction plus guard still does matter. You know, I might put him in A tier. We might do that, because he's such a wonderfully designed unit that you could still probably get away with him in a lot of these events right now. Like, you'll probably use this guy in, like, even the Super Boot, right? So, like, this guy could probably be a really good option there. That could be really good, yeah. So that's a thing. The Android 8, I think he's like a B tier character. The biggest thing about the Android 8 is that there's no Kid Goku, like, that's like super powerful anymore. Pat the Power Kid Goku had his run. He was a good design character, but I think that, you know, with how the game has evolved, and especially because I think STR bosses are pretty prominent now, you know, this guy really wants a Kid Goku attacking in the same turn of 30% reduction. That's a lot, right, that he can get from having the Kid Goku there. Even though I think he's, again, really good in these longer events, Pat the Power Kid Goku is not what he once was, right? So maybe when we get a new Dokkan Fist Kid Goku, we could talk more about this guy. Like, because 80% reduction plus the stats he has is still pretty good, right? I think overall, like, if this guy's like a character that, you know, you could potentially even set a little in slot 1, because he doesn't really get any stats on super attack anyways, right? He does also have this 80% recovery that's in his back pocket. Not going to be too common to get that, but, you know, it could potentially happen right in his back pocket. But I think hot trend right now, this guy's gonna have to sit here at B tier. Yajirobe is probably C tier. I don't know. I think he's a character, like a gimmicky character that you could use him for sure. The thing is, I think he has a survive KO, which is pretty cool. He has healing. I just feel like even with the multi-turn support that he has, he's still probably going to be more of a liability. He does have this active skill though, which is interesting, that you could full heal you from turn 5 if you're 140% HP, which again is not like the most common thing, but it can happen, right? For sure. And if you do get that sensu bean, that could be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. He's just kind of like a very risky character. Like, he doesn't dodge twice, and you just like instantly did like Chilai. But I think Chilai is probably providing so much more overall. I think to be nice, I'll put him in B tier, I guess, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep going. Battle of Gods Vegeta, probably an A tier character as well. I just think he's like still decent to use. His stats are just not there anymore. I mean, you could even argue, should I put him in B tier? Like, I don't know. This Battle of Gods Vegeta, I was never really as big of a fan of him as a lot of other people. I think he has, like, you know, this little juice to him right here, which I think is pretty cool. He doesn't want to get hit a lot, and I think, you know, over time, as the bosses started hitting harder and harder, this guy wanted to receive a lot of these attacks anyways, I guess, to build up, right? So, like, it makes sense with his design. You have to transform into this guy eventually, and if you don't, like, get the hits with this guy at this point, he doesn't transform, and then he doesn't have his card, and then you're just like you're not even just a little bit of trouble, you're in a lot of trouble. And yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if he's against a movie bosses category enemy, which can happen, right? You know, again, like the, what's it called, the like movie bosses boss rush, right? Like, that's one thing, right? That came out during the 9th anniversary. I guess I'll keep him here, but I might do this. I don't know. Like, what if I do this. Like this gets a little risky. Like not risky, but like a little troublesome. I might do this. Because I feel like I would choose to use these guys over this Battle Guts Vegeta at this point. But I think I would use them over these two, so I think that's fair. Int Pan, probably here. I think there's like it's superheroes is such a very high value team, and her supporting superheroes plus Bon and Parent Child is really good. 60% dodge though, you know, a lot of these characters nowadays are getting 70% dodge chance. I think a lot of these support characters that are really good, or you know, that have like really strong defenses on top of that. Pan doesn't really have like crazy defenses. He's reaching like 500 carry defense range or so. She could be decent still, but you know, it would have been really nice if she had the 70% dodge rather than the 60%. Is the only thing I'd really say about Pan. And that's why I'm gonna put Pan here in B tier with you. Dude, there's so many characters. We're 15 minutes in, or goodness. Okay, we should probably start speeding up through here again. A little bit, right? I don't want this. I mean, who knows? Maybe someone will just sit down and watch the whole video. Next is Tien. Tien, again, we're getting into more of these modern characters now. Tien is probably C tier. I think Tien is just very RNG dependent because he launches 3 additionals, each of which has a high chance to be super. He has the stat raise here. Medium chance to stun is cool. He's also physical though. And he wants to super attack really badly. Like, he's a character where it's like, oh my goodness, his stats can get pretty good, but at the end of the day, it's very RNG dependent. And I don't know. I guess to be nice, I'll put him here because he does have the high chance to dodge, which I do like that as well. STR Krillin, I'll probably put there as well. I feel like STR Krillin is pretty good though. Do I put STR Krillin here in an A tier? I think I will. I think I would feel more comfortable using him because 23rd World Tournament Goku himself is not really even bad. He's still like a very usable character. This guy is a World Tournament support. He has 60% reduction before attacking, and then 40% reduction, you know, given that you're facing one enemy. Got some pretty decent stats as well. He does lower attack, right? I think this STR Krillin is still a pretty decent character. But like, I feel like he's probably not as safe as some of these other characters. So I don't know. I think he's generally in the A tier, but so again, he gets 100% on super. He gets 150% stats here. I can't even speak. This as well. This multiplicative stats here too. Again, he gets to some pretty decent stats, but I don't think it gets to like. I think people think that this. I think a lot of people thought that this and this was multiplicative, but it's not. So like, you know, even though he would have like, let's say, I don't know, 400k defense at our turn, just as an example, random example, let's just say in general, he does not super here and gets up to 800k. That would not be how it works, unfortunately. So I don't know. I think I'll still keep him here because I think, you know, he does have some utility to him, but I think he was obviously a lot better during the like fusions of Masu kind of AoE meta going on there. So yeah, that's the whole thing. I think this character has kind of de-aged. I probably wouldn't really use them. I mean, I guess A tier probably would use them over some of these other characters. This Amon and Raisin. The thing is that they need to be in slot 1. That's the only thing, and they're just not like in terms of 8th anniversary content. They get one shot sometimes. That's how it is now. Nowadays they just take a lot of damage or just get one shot, even with the 20% reduction plus the card. It's because they have to be in slot 1, and then sometimes they get super attack first. And I think there's just the general stats are not as high, you know, in terms of what the content is requiring, right? So again, a lot of these characters though could potentially get one shot, except for these two really. Like these characters are kind of similar. Maybe I'll move these two up a tier. Who knows? We'll see. Physical Zamasu actually is okay. He's not really bad right now because we do get some. I mean, he's not good, but we did get some super class enemies during the 9th anniversary, which is really nice. And then, you know, he does have the, again, if we take a look at extra stats, the extra 20% dodge chance, which is really nice. So he has this 20% chance to dodge for the rest of the battle. He gets some stats build up at each turn. There's a super class enemy. The thing that's stupid is that he gets this 30% dodge chance, but then there's 20% start of turn. So like that dodge chance, the 20% and 30% are separate, which is really dumb. I mean, again, he's like solid still, especially now that we're getting super class enemies, right? You know, he is able to get his stat build up, but he's not going to be anything crazy even with those, right? Is the only thing I'm really gonna say about that when it comes to this physical Zamasu. But now again, we're getting to worldwide celebration territory, so you know we're getting through these a little bit at a time. This is STRMI again. I'm put STRMI here with Zamasu. STRMI, you know, she is very, again, a little dependent on those additionals, and the thing with STRMI is even with her reduction, she's not really going to be eating a lot of these. Like, you know, if she gets targeted with a super attack, she dies. I think it gets a lot of normals. She could be pretty decent against them, but I think some normals could even damage her at this point. She is STR, you know, so like your Beast Gohan, she'll have type advantage against, I guess, right? She has this orb changing, which is really interesting, and they one-time support for Ki, which is cool. But I don't know. I think like this is kind of silly, you know what I mean? Like she is very reliant on those additional super attacks. I would say Itmai is a character that I'd put here because she's able to be used a lot more easily now. I guess the only thing about Itmai is that she again is a support for time travelers, and I feel like time travelers, you know, we would like a new time travelers leader. If you get like a new time travelers leader, she could be good. I mean, if you're running double fusions of Masu, you could use her there. I mean, she's supporting a lot of these villain characters. Like, to be fair, you could throw her on like a villain setup and she could look pretty decent there. Like I think like you could just throw her on Zamasu's team, right? Zamasu, what does he lead again? He does not lead her though. Dang, that sucks. Like if we get like a new Goku Black, well, dang it, we got physical Rose, but he doesn't like lead her as well. He leads Super Bosses and Kuroda Mighty Mind. What a terrible leader skill, dude. Are you kidding me? God, what a loser. I don't know. If we get like a new Time Travelers leader, like a extreme class version, I think you could probably still use this Mai. Again, she's gonna be dodge or die, but she has a scouter ability, right? She gets like okay defenses, right? So even if she doesn't dodge, she could at least take like 1 or 2 attacks, I guess, maybe, depending on the event. She has stun chance right there, which, you know, you could stun enemies now in certain events, which is pretty cool. I guess she does give the extra stats to superclass characters, but 2 keen 40% stat support is pretty good still. I think she's decent. She's a decent character still, right? I you know, with the 7% dodge chance, like 70% chance of dodge, it's pretty good. Guasu Zamasu, again, I probably will also put them there. Another character with 70% chance of dodge. They are supporting, you know, Realm of Gods is a pretty good category as well. They would give the extra attack if the full rotation is Realm of Gods, right? Yeah, again, key 1 and attack 30% to all allies if all characters in the turn are Realm of Gods. Again, oh, you know, only a high chance dodge. I thought it was a 70%. Damn, they really gave him high chance, not crit chance. I might do this now, because they provide so much support in terms of defense. There are superclass enemies now too. I just, yeah, no, the high chance and their stats, no, because Mai has 70% is a lot better. I probably will have to do that, like high chance dodge, you know, it just like high chance dodge, and this guy doesn't have the defense to like tank every normal. I'm like, no, if he could tank every normal in the game, I'd be a little more open to that, but no. I think this as well, again, he's another character where it's like he has a high chance of dodge. He wants to even face, does he even have fierce battle? I don't think he does. I think he has shattering limit. This future Gohan, he is, I thought I saw him right here. Where's this guy? He's right here. I mean, this guy was decent when he came out, but like, you know, yeah, he's supporting Future Saga. He only has a dodge against Androids or Future Saga enemies. No, this guy's like down here because he's also tech, and like those characters, that category is so niche. I think to be nice, no, I don't know. And he's also time gated to be good within a specific amount of turns. I mean, he's good for some of the future, that does more future red zones. He's good there, but Just like I'm gonna put this Trunks here because like this Trunks is also a character that wants Realm of Gods enemies. He wants, I think it's specifically Realm of Gods, right? So I guess, you know, now and then like that Trunks, his defense stat is not gonna be spectacular for like the Gogeta Blue fight or anything, right? Like, yeah, launch additional super and super effective. Maybe I'll take him into the Gogeta Blue fight. Well, I could see what he does there. He has 50% reduction. I don't think his stats would get high enough though. Probably not. I mean, I could see. Maybe. I think I'll put this Trunks here just because Realm of Gods. There are some Realm of Gods enemies that we could fight currently, you know, and like it's not like Fusions of Monsters like easy anymore, I guess. But this guy, I don't know. I just don't see him working well in the 9th anniversary content. Well, like this guy, there are some 9th anniversary stages where maybe he could be like an okay floater, you know. This 40% defense for 6 turns, like I'll take that. I think it was 30% before. Yeah, they did raise it to 40%, you know. And used to be, yeah, still 6 turns. Yeah, you know, I think he could be decent because there are some Realm of Gods enemies. I wonder if she could be good in Gogeta Blue. I don't think he'd be good, but if he could, maybe I could even move up to A tier. But I think his stats are gonna be too low. Inzamasu, I actually think Inzamasu is probably still A tier. The thing about Inzamasu is that he's more consistent in terms of like, you know, when you're gonna get the stuff, and you could use that in every event. Where is this guy? Because he does want a full, I think, Realm of Gods rotation again, but he has 60% reduction, which is a lot. So even though his stats may not be the highest, 60% reduction carries you a long way. Again, like let's say, I don't know, like Dokkan damage calculator. I don't know. Let's say this guy is facing a boss that does 600k normals. Like just as an example, like a super boss, and then I don't know. Let's say he's AGL or something, right? Let's say he's physical, like, you know. In fact, let me get an actual boss out here. Let's say like even type disadvantage. Well, type disadvantage probably isn't really fair to this guy. Maybe I'm trying to think of a character. I mean, okay, you know what? Screw it. Let's say Gogeta Blue's normals after he super attacks. I think they do. Let me actually take a look here. I think his normals does 900k. Oh, it's 1.8 mil. Phew, goodness, this guy hits hard. Okay, maybe Gogeta Blue isn't fair, but like, let's say he has 600k defense. I don't know, just an example, with 60% reduction, and then he's super STR. And then, yeah, I mean, he's taking like 240k, but you know, that's better than a lot of characters take. But let's say, I don't know, let's say a character does 1 mil normals. He's taking double digits, or like 1 mil normals, basically. Even if he has 500k defense, he's still taking double digits, right? And you know, as long as he's not type disadvantage, right? You know, if he's type disadvantage, he'd be taking a lot more damage. But it's like he's with 60% reduction, it's still not bad. Or like even 1.2 mil. Okay, not 1.23. He's taking a little bit of damage here. Type neutral, 60k, but he is also healing, and you know, I guess 60k is not the greatest, but you know, for like a banner unit, I think like an A tier banner unit, sure, I'll take that for sure, right? And again, Realm of Gods, pretty decent looking like team right now. I definitely don't think it's bad at all. I think Ito's Texamasu Realm of Gods, and again, you could just throw like UI Goku, Blue Evolution Vegeta on the team, and then this guy's like a floater character. Like, sure, you know, that could work out. I think for sure, right? So, yep, I think A tier is pretty good for him. Inzamasu, there we go. I think this character, again, B tier. Like a lot of these other Future Saga EZAs, I think this character, the thing about him is he does want full Future Saga. I think like a mono Future Saga team in itself is not gonna be the greatest. Could you get away with it in difficult content? Probably, but I think another thing is that this guy's stats, like with just the he only has 30% reduction, right? Yeah, with just 30% reduction, like in Fusions of Moss, that works, but like 9th anniversary had a really big jump in damage the bosses do, so no. Boda Magetta is a character where, again, on Universe 6 he could be really nice, but I'm probably gonna put him in B tier just because of the 9th anniversary jump. Again, with the, where's this guy? He has Fierce Battle for sure, yeah. Again, on the full Universe 6 team, I think he's interesting to bring up because he was able to be like a pretty nice slot 1 character. He came out in October, with the 200 power androids. And it was like, okay, when Universe 6 becomes decent, he could be good too. And it's, again, he could still probably be good as like a little floater in the team, maybe. He does only get the additional after receiving the attack, though. That's how he gets a lot of his defense. I mean, he could probably still be usable in some of the weaker content, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to be a slot 1 character for some of the stronger content. That's just how it is. I actually do like the Snap and Vegeta. Again, I like it. Still, no one's in S tier. I feel like no one's in S tier. We kept those two up there. Nap and Vegeta, pretty decent banner unit. Again, they're just a floater with 30% reduction. They want another Pure Saiyan or Terrifying Conqueror's ally. I think that when they get a good setup, they could be cooking. I mean, I guess, you know, Pure Saiyans, there's like a Pure Saiyan setup. You could probably use God Goku. Like, Pure Saiyan is obviously just a good category. I think this guy's a floater character. If they're like just wanting to take normals, they have the guard ability, right? This gives them guard, and then they have 30% reduction as a third attacker. So, like, again, with guard plus 30% reduction, like, again, we saw Zamasu, like, you know, was able to take pretty well against normals for the most part. So, like, this character is able to take normals. Probably a decent amount of super attacks they could survive as well. They're not really a character that wants to be on rotation. I think the only thing, if they had support, I probably would put them in S tier, but they don't have like just a little bit of the extra utility. If there is, what I think would have really made me put them in like an S tier situation. Fu, this is tough because I think Fu is a character that you could argue for an S tier situation. Like what I use Fu more, because this guy just needs. He gets the only thing that sucks. He wants a crossover. I probably would keep him in A tier, unfortunately. I don't know, maybe like near the top of A tier, but Fu, he could provide such good support, but he is very reliant on those orbs, and crossover's not that great anymore. Limit Breaker Vegeta, I'm actually gonna put in B tier probably. I don't know. I'll keep him here, sure. I mean, not Limit Breaker Vegeta. Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's easy A. Again, he's very reliant on crossover, but he's even more reliant, man. And I don't know, like, these characters are not. Sure, I'll keep him in A though. Why not? Just whatever. Darkness Toa, I'll probably put B tier. High chance to dodge, support, pretty decent support, but I don't know. Dark Mask King, B tier. He's a character that could be decent, you know, but I don't know. He might even be C tier at this point. Nah. We'll keep him there. Evil 21, I've used her in some content, but I don't know. She feels like B tier to me at this point. Evil 21. Oh, if you can't tell, I realized that recording this is 30 minutes long, man. Evil 21 here. Yeah, I don't know. So, like, how do I explain it? She's pretty decent, I think. But she's also a character that's like only really super good early on as well. Is the only thing about her. She has a 21% reduction. She links really well with the like normal 21, but I don't know. I think her stats just probably aren't there like what they used to be. AGL Tapion, Tech Tapion. I think, is it going to be a character I put in S tier? I actually really like this Tech Tapion. Where is he at? Hello, Tech Tapion. Where you at, buddy? He's like an Old Awakening, I think. Yeah, there he is, right here. He got his EZA during the I think very recently in Global as well. He does get extra stats against movie bosses, but his stats are pretty decent. I would say they're not bad. He does lower attack as well. He gets the 50% chance dodge, right? You know, 30% dodge here, and then 50%. No, wait. Yeah, so 30% dodge. Then from the second Keysphere onward, he gets 10% extra dodge chance. So if you get like 3 Keyspheres with him, he has 60% dodge. He's supporting movie heroes 40%. He gets these multiplicative stats here. I feel like it might not be enough for him to be an S tier though. But I think at A tier is a pretty good tier for him. I would use this Tapion over like these two, but I don't think it's a tier above. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna move these two up here. Or Angel going for, yeah, I'll do this. That's great. We'll put Tapion here. for now, I think. Because Taepan's doing a lot. He's also Rainbow Orb changing as well, so he creates his own orbs. I think Taepan's pretty decent as a floater, honestly. Yeah, I think we'll do this. With the, like, let's say if you get 3 Marquise with him again, he's getting 60% dodge. No, it's just 50%. Yeah, it is 50% dodge chance. But still, pretty good, I think, overall, what this guy's able to do. I like him. But he's probably still A tier. I should be fair. I think that's good. Okay, now we get to the characters from the end of the year, and this is where we're starting to get to like more of the like really good, I think, characters for 9th anniversary content. 60% supports. Again, I think I will put AGL Pan in an S tier spot. I think AGL Pan is pretty good. She has the multi-turn support. I think AGL is a really strong typing overall right now, where this AGL Pan is able to succeed. She has Shattering Limit. AGL Pan is able to really easily succeed in a lot of these situations. Where is this AGL Pan? She awakened a long time ago, actually, which is really funny. It's really this buff that's really good, but again, just like the other support characters, she has like the full heal in her back pocket with the full AGL keys for changing in turn. And yeah, just a really good super attack effect, pretty good links, decent amount of teams. There's a lot of setups you could use her in. Even without like having the full AGL setup, or like having her supporting a lot of AGL characters, she is still supporting everyone on the team, which I think is very valuable. Rodo, G2 Bosses Merchant, but I think he's good enough to be an A tier on that G2 Bosses team. There are some events where G2 Bosses can be used. Tech Tien, I hate him. I think he's a B tier unit. Tech Tien, it's just like, he doesn't, I didn't mean to close Fierce Battle, but Tech Tien, it just doesn't have the greatest setups. You would think Tech would be better, but like, take a look at Tech, like Super Tech. Like, you have, like, a lot of these characters don't really fit on a team together, or Tien isn't really on a team with these characters, because it's a Tien card, right? And, his best team is a Super Trunks team, man, and you have to run double Super Trunks, like, and then Tech Tien has a terrible, well, I think that the lower attack is actually pretty decent, but he doesn't have any defense raise, man. Like, great lowering attack could be so good, but if he had greatly raised attack and defense as well, like, he would be so much better, actually. Genuinely, he would be so much better. That 50% buff would mean a lot, because he would go from, like, let's say that he gets 400k defense. He would go from that to 600k with guard. But he just has like 400k with guard. And it's like, no. And if he doesn't have guard, like, this guy struggles really badly. His link set's wonky. Tech Tien is a loser. It's an absolute loser. Texel, again, he's good on the Fusions and Monster team, I think, for sure. He has a pretty good super attack effect. But it's more of a villains thing. I mean, I almost want to say this. Like, this tech sells pretty, honestly, because like there are some setups you could use them on. Mostly again the Fusions of Monster team. I mean, Extreme Tech is pretty good. Transforming Vegeta, Evil Boo. You have the LR Fusions of Masu, which is still a pretty good character. Tech Broly's gonna be getting an easy soon. We have Exchange Boo got his easy. I think the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta's gonna get his easy soon. The Manja Vegeta one. You know what? Yeah, I think Tech Janamba is not like too far from Nisei 2. I think as well, if we're talking about like potential, I guess talking about potential is not really the smartest thing ever, but like Extreme Tech has some pretty nice options. Yeah, I think I might do this. I actually do like this Tech Cell. Maybe more than other people, but I think he's a character I would pretty fairly put in this S tier for sure. Kid Gohan, I think I'm also gonna put in this S tier. I think Kid Gohan would be higher. The issue with Kid Gohan is that I think Int is not really the best right now. And again, with these 60% EZA supports, we do need to consider the teams that they could be ran on, like how easy their setups are. So I would say the 60% Gohan is another character where it's like, even if he's not directly supporting them, I think he can still be pretty good. But like, again, if we consider Int, it's like there's the Gamma's team, but like he can't really fit in that team. Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I mean, you could probably run, because this guy leads Bottom Master Disciple. Is this Kid Gohan on Bottom Master Disciple? He is. So like, you could run like a Bottom Master Disciple superheroes team where this Kid Gohan could be used on Beast Gohan's team, huh? I think for sure. And you could throw superheroes. You have this guy. This guy, you have Kid Gohan. And then we need I think one more Int character that you could throw on here. I don't know. Like what's the next in character? Future Gohan, or in Gotenks? No, in Gotenks wouldn't fit there. Um, there's probably a setup you could use, right? Again, let me take a look here. I just want to confirm that might change things for me. Yeah, like these two, you need a third in character though, that you could just like throw on the team. I mean, I guess Super Saiyan 4 Goku, not really the best though. And yeah, if you had one more like really good end character, I mean, I guess like Future Gohan is not bad. I think I will keep him with these characters. Is my decision. I think he could move up, but yeah. Vegeta, I think I'll put him in A tier again. I think there was a lot of good extreme int options there, but his super attack effect I think holds him back a little. He does some pretty okay damage though. STR Kaba, I think he's a Z tier character. I think STR is just a really strong typing right now. Beast Gohan, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We have, you know, Gamma 1. STR Super Vegeta is solid. I think especially Universe 6 with Kale. Or not Kale. Sorry, I'm stupid. Kefla, you have Kale right here. You know, there's a lot of good STR characters. And again, you could also technically dip into Extreme Class, which I didn't think about, but with the Gohan. But yeah, I mean, STR, Future Gohan, Bulma, GT Duo, STR Super Vegito, STR UI Goku, Blue Gogeta. Like, there's so many good STR, Super STR characters right now in the game. And his super attack effect is like, him and Gohan have the best super attack effect out of the 60% supports. And like, he's able to really benefit on those really strong teams. Like, on a Beast Gohan team, it's so easy. You use this guy as a floater in a Beast Gohan team. And like, he cooks supporting Beast Gohan for 60%. Just goes absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's really awesome. Really cool, really cool, really cool. That Kaba is really good. I think Hit is A tier. He's super close. Again, he's mostly the Universe 6 team though, with like Kefla as their leader, I guess, right? But I don't think he's as good because Extreme SDR itself is not really there, but he has a really good super attack effect. I think SDR Hit, like, he just greatly stacks defense. And again, all these characters are the same beyond that. Decent link set, I guess, right, for the Universe 6 team, right? I think SDR Hit is able to cook. And again, you only need the typing for the guard. I think that's the important thing. You only need like three other SDR allies you need for the guard. 3 other in allies, 3 other tech allies, right? It could be super or extreme class, right? But their support is to those specific classes. Gohan, that's loser. Super Buu, A tier. I think Majin Power is pretty decent, but you know, can't really use them there. This Gohan and Tien are just the worst ones for sure. Gohan is basically in the same boat as Tien, where he has a pretty terrible super attack effect. But I think super physical is actually a decent typing as well. You know, that's that. Golden Frieza, I think I'm gonna put in S tier. Could he be Z tier? I think he'll be an S tier. I feel like this Golden Frieza, like, in terms of like the end of 9th anniversary content, he doesn't do the best there. He does want super bosses, and super bosses is like a very finicky-ish team. He's, again, really good on the Broly team though. Again, do I put him in Z tier though? I don't know if I put him in Z tier. I feel like these characters provide more, maybe. And have a higher chance at living. Well, because this Golden Frieza, he loses reduction as turns passes on. He does have 60% reduction still by the end, though. He can, and he does have full dodge build that you can give him, which is really nice. Because he just has to evade the attack, and he gets it for 3 turns. I wish that was 4 turns. Because if you float this guy, he's not going to have it when he comes back again. Which does suck a little bit, right? If you were able to keep that, him as floating, I think that'd be really good. But then, like, every time you have to really dodge it. And early on, he's really good defensively. I think I will put him in the C tier, though. I think, yeah, I'll put him in that Z tier. He's doing a decent amount of things right here. I like him. He can actually do pretty okay damage too for a support character. Yeah, I'll take it for sure. Who's next here? Krillin and 18, I think for sure, are also Z tier. I do like them quite a bit. They provide multi-turn support to superheroes, which is just the best team in the game, pretty much, right? Superhero team, just insane. They get extra stats and dodge with superheroes and rotation. Oh, that's not bad at all. I think the only thing is that they have, again, they're a 30% dodge chance character, but they get a lot of multiplicative stats. They have pretty decent stats as well, like compared to a lot of these other 60% dodge. Like, there's a difference between them and In Pan, where their defense is like actually pretty solid, and In Pan's defense is not really that great. Again, but this 2-turn 50% support to superheroes is just really strong, really strong, and I think they're pretty good. I do like them quite a bit. This Krillin 18, you can do a lot of things with them for sure. Paragus and Broly, I think I'm gonna put in S tier maybe. Let me take a look at them again, because the thing about them is they do want, if we take a look here, they do want to get a lot of their additionals, but they do want a pure Saiyan or superheroes enemy, which, to be honest, not really that bad. But what happens is that they get a lot of reduction, 26% reduction with each super attack in the same turn. But it's like high chance of launching an additional super on super, high chance of launching an additional super attack if there's pure Saiyan or superheroes enemies. It's like if they get 2 super attacks, that's 54% reduction. If they get another super attack, that is 80% reduction. Am I stupid? Wait, let me take a look here. Calculator. Like if you get the 3 super attacks with them, so we see 26 times 3, that is 78% reduction. I can't math apparently. Or again, if you only get 2 with them, that is 52% reduction. So it's a lot, right? Again, if you get if you got all 4 super attacks, they have 100% reduction, which I think doesn't matter. The only thing is that these are the teams they're on. They are providing 50% support. I think this character went a lot under the radar after they came out. I'll put them in Z tier. Yeah, I'll put them in Z tier. I think they can cook. And they do stack defense permanently, right? Oh yeah, these guys are crazy. Actually, I forgot they do stack defense and they lower attack. Yeah, actually, I think this is a very forgotten character that like just went under the radar. That I think people should talk about more properly. Yeah, I don't know. S tier. I'm stupid. I forgot about them. That tells you Paragus and Broly are just really good, man. They're crazy. Next is Bardock and Gine. I think Bardock and Gine, again, they're also really good from what I'm remembering. Let me take a look here. Where are Bardock and Gine? The thing about them is that they do want bottom parent and child allies in the same turn. They do want movie bosses enemies for their attack, right? But you don't even need any of this. This is not necessary. This just makes them do more attack. But as long as that bottom parent and child, like they get all of this here, they get pretty decent stats. They have massive raise attack and defense for the turn, 22% attack and defense for all allies for multiple turns. They have this pretty good active skill that also provides multi-turn support. I think the only thing about them is that they don't have any defensive tech, so I probably will put them here, even though their defense gets to pretty decent levels. Like if you get an additional with this character, like things can go really crazy. In fact, I wonder if I could find Halvard's calcs for them, because you could see that their defense for a support character that's floating gets really good. Bardock, Gine, right? If you take a look here, again, they can get some pretty nice defense for a support character. Like if you have a Goku ally, and then if you give them support, they can get tons of defense, right? And Link Power does Broly and Paragus, which won't be a rotation really, but like if you have a Goku ally, if they get an additional, they can get like 1.5 plus extra defense, right? But I feel like they're probably in this S tier rather than the Z tier, because they don't have that defensive tech that I think a lot of these characters do, which will help them a lot better against supers. And again, it's like maybe they're a little reliant on getting an additional super attack at this point, but they're pretty good too. Bardock and Gine for sure. In battles, I don't have a lot of experience with battles. I'm unfortunately shackled to the JP player confinements for this one, but she seems pretty good. Lowers attack, seals, really good super attack effects, right? Obviously with the massively raise as well. She has a rainbow key sphere changing, and they extended this realm of gods. That's again also pretty good. I think, you know, her support is very nice, right? Pretty solid. You could use it on like Beast Gohan's team. Like this could be a Beast Gohan's team floater versus providing him 40% stats and 2 key. Sure, right? She has a 70% chance to dodge. I think this battle is quite good. Quite good. I think this battle, so I probably will put in Z tier. She seems really powerful. Tech Leafla, I think that Tech Leafla, she on the full Universe 6 team, she has her guaranteed dodge anyways, and she has pretty decent stats. I feel like I'm gonna put her in A tier though. I feel like Vados is gonna be a lot more useful in a lot of different teams. Though again, like Pure Saiyans is not too difficult to come across, or Universe Full Saga. It's not a lot. I think Kale I'll probably put in S tier as well. I mean, technically, again, she works the same pretty much as she does pre-Z. She doesn't really get changes to like her dodge chance or anything. She gets extra stats. I think is the biggest thing. Now the thing about S tier Kale is that she does want a Caulifla on rotation, and funny enough is like that Tech Caulifla or Alarcon Caulifla is really it, but she needs Caulifla on rotation for the guard. Well, it's like I think needing Kale on rotation is going to be a lot easier because we have like, you know, if you're running AGO Kale as your leader, you know, you have AGO Kale, and then you have like the S tier Kale running around, right? You know, Alarcon Caulifla counts, so I feel like asking for a Kale round is a lot easier because of the AGO Kale compared to asking for a Caulifla round, but I think that they deserve to be in the same tier. S tier Kale can be pretty crazy, honestly. Dodoria, I think Dodoria is probably an A tier character. I think that Dodoria is not bad. I keep closing Fierce Battle. I'm so silly. Dodoria is not like a bad character, but I'm not gonna say he's a good character. He is very reliant on that AGL Frieza, and that AGL Frieza doesn't have a setup, so guess what? That was the Dodoria doesn't really have a setup. I think the Dodoria could be good, but you know, this should have been damage reduction, I think, for an example. He gets extra stats from the 6-star, which is interesting, I think, for sure. I think I do kind of like the idea. Again, he wants guard. He gets guard with Frieza's on rotation, but it's just like, you know, the Frieza team's not there, and this guy's not really going to be there. Maybe if we get like whenever we find him to get an Inhuman Deeds leader, and then obviously that Frieza's on the team, like that could be really interesting. If it's like a space traveling warriors Inhuman Deeds leader, like who could be the leader? Like Baby. Yeah, if we get like a super Baby 2 leader, and he's like a super strong summon character, and then you have him and like Frieza on this rotation, you have the Doria floating, and then like that could be like really interesting. And you could even throw Rose on here. I guess Rose wouldn't be Space Traveling Warriors, but you could throw even Rose on there, right? You know, that could be pretty interesting setup, potentially, right? If that Super Baby 2 is like a really good character. I would like that idea, right? So hopefully we get something like that soon. But for now, Dodoria's down there. I think King Vegeta S tier or Z tier. You know, I think King Vegeta, when he first came out, I was like unsure about him, but when you use him in the game, he's really good, especially with that new transforming Vegeta. Obviously, really, really good. I think it could be a little inconsistent with the key spheres, but luckily he changes a certain type of key spheres to another type, so you're able to really set up those orbs, I think, a lot easier, because you like, given that he doesn't enter the rotation and it's like a brand new phase, there is a lot more leeway to doing that, right? Especially considering if it was like a random key sphere changing. The support does stack up, so he gives 60% support to like Blue Evolution Vegeta or the Transforming Vegeta, right? This guy gets extra stats. There's Vegeta attacking the same turn, which again is not really too difficult right now on the teams that this guy will be on. So, pretty tanky as well overall. I think King Vegeta's pretty good. I do like him. His super attack effect is just greatly raised, right? Yeah, greatly raised. They probably could have given massive, but you know, I think he's pretty good without it. Just a little like does a little bit of, you know, extra stats would be cool. N16 is really good. I think N16, another Z tier character, I would argue. He just gets a lot of reduction, like, and he has like his stats are just really high. That's really it. Like, he gets guard, then he builds up to 48% damage reduction whenever guard is activated. Then he gets 80% attack and defense when attacking, greatly raised defense. Like, I don't know, he's just good. He's just good with guard and 50% reduction basically, plus like pretty decent stats. Like, this guy is able to live a majority of attacks in the game. The only thing that sucks about this is that Super Saiyan Gohan Youth and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Youth, I'm not gonna say like are crazy options. I think like, you know, this guy could easily, but like what teams would they share? Like, you know, it's Android Cell Saga tournament participants, I guess. You know, Tech Gohan right here, he's on tournament participants. That could be interesting, but you know, yeah. If we get like a new, like I think we can get a new Gohan from the Cell games potentially, for sure. Like, what would they do for his name though? I don't know. Like in the future, we can get like Gohan to EZA, AGL Cell to EZA. Would it just be Super Saiyan 2 Youth Gohan? I guess so, huh? It would suck for this guy, but you know, movie heroes, different team anyways. I think that could be interesting, and then maybe the 16 could see use in that team, for sure. But 16 is pretty good now. Cell Juniors, I think I'm gonna probably give him A tier. I think again, it's just a little less consistent with them, but they're really good for the artificial life forms team. And I guess one thing is that they want to cell in rotation. And I think they're a little more reliant on that cell restriction than the 16 is. Again, they have artificial life form support. They have 70% chance to dodge on the artificial life forms team. But 16 doesn't really need to be used on a certain setup. 16 can really be used on most setups he's good on, right? But again, yeah, launches additional super attack, randomly changes a certain type of key sphere to Rainbow when you have perfect form cell, perfect cell attack in the same turn. I think this is an ability that they really want. Mostly the additional super attack. That's super good compared to 16, who doesn't really need like Gohan in rotation. But I think the Cell Junior is pretty good still. But yeah, again, they're reluctant to just artificial life forms, which I wouldn't say is necessarily like a great team right now. But you know, I think, you know, for that mission, they'll be pretty good there. The Beast Gohan mission with artificial life forms. So I'll put him here again. Yeah, we're almost done. Ajo Super Vegeta, probably S tier. I think he's really good for the Cell Max fight. Well, I probably wouldn't even say really good. He's good for the Cell Max fight. He's able to kind of cook a little for sure in certain events. I wouldn't say he's crazy though, but it's not that nice that he finally got an EZA. I wish this was a defense raise as well. But yeah, again, he gets, like, depending on your HP level, so he can get 30% reduction baseline, 50% reduction under 70%. It becomes 70% reduction under 50%, and then 90% reduction under 30% HP. He's also providing support. Decent character, honestly. Not bad, not bad. I think he could be pretty solid in the Cell Max fight. And another place, though, I'm not really sure, but, you know, Cell Max is one of the hardest fights. I probably will put him in A tier, though. I think I'll put him in A tier. Yeah, I think A tier probably is better. Kato Pesla is okay. A tier as well. Kato Pesla is, like, again, a character that, like, he's very interestingly designed, but it's like there's a lot of things that you need for him to go his way. Like on the certain turns, he changes the turn type of key spheres. If you get him on the odd turns, no, on the even turns, he gets this offense, like purely offense, and you know it's kind of like silly. You want the defense. He has this one turn where he gets both, I guess. I mean, it's kind of weird, and he's very reliant on the orbs. But at least again, you can control the orbs, but a little bit, right? You can like set them up properly, but it's a little weird with this guy. I don't know. Yeah. Ajo Gotenks, he's a super battle character. Like, he's decent. I'll probably give him S tier to be nice. No, I think I'll put him in an A tier. This Ajo Gotenks, again, well, I don't know. He's at least good in the modes he's intended to be good in. He's providing 50% support. He does build up to 50% dodge chance, sure. Decent stats. I probably will give him this S tier, because at least I think there's setups you can use him in, and in the events that he's good in, he will be good in, right? I'll definitely take that, sure. This Gohan is just really bad. He probably is in C tier. This Gohan is terrible. Like, he's just terrible. I don't know. He gets like 30% reduction max. They massacred that Gohan. I'm sorry. It's very sad to see. He's like really bad. And that sucks, because he's like, I feel like he was such an anticipated easy character, but it's like, again, like, he wants Exploding Rage and Defenders of Justice allies, which, you know, like even on special pose, not all those characters are defenders of justice, right? So like Ingo Tanks is not on there, and Tekken and Ingo Tanks are some of the better characters on that team. Like, he gets this guaranteed crit against Busag enemies. Sure, I mean, there's 2 fights right now that are Busag enemies that you could use that against, but I mean, he has a heal, 30% reduction. Like, I don't know, his stats are just not high enough. 30% reductions, not high enough. And he's wants to be used on a very certain team setup. I don't know. Maybe C tier is too harsh. B tier, sure. In Ribrianne, physical Ribrianne is like, she might be the best character on here. Like, physical Ribrianne is probably the best character here, easily. And then we'll put Intopo in C tier as well. We'll talk about Intopo first, and we'll talk about physical Ribrianne and how stupid she is. Intopo's shattering limit, and I think physical Ribrianne is as well. Is she not? She's also first battle, huh? No, she is shattering the limit. Shattering the limit. Where is Topo? I don't know. I just skipped past Int. I'm dumb. He does want to be on rotation with the physical Topo specifically, but if it does have that, I think Int Topo is pretty good. You know, guarding, supporting. He does provide support to special pose as well. I like him. I think he's good. He can cook for sure. I wish this was like 30% reduction instead of crit, and that's all I would change for him. She's stupid. She's dumb. She has a giant form on top of everything she's doing, but it's just, she gets sort of turn stats. She can get up to 88% chance to dodge. She's like getting up to like 2 mil plus defense, like when she's stacked up. She has the guaranteed additional super attack. Where is it here? She changes the key spheres here with Peppy Gals. Yeah. Launches initial super attack with 3 or more rainbow key spheres, and she's changing rainbow key spheres. And like Topo is also changing rainbow key spheres, like if you're running her on the tournament participant scene. Like, she's dumb. She's dumb. She's a dumb character. Absolutely insane. 88% chance to dodge with rainbow key spheres is not hard to get with her. And then her giant form is pretty decent, and she's still rainbow orb chain to get this giant form, and it could activate at any time, to be fair, but yeah, 15% chance of turning into giant form, which is crazy. And you can get it twice, so like you could also just protect the entire rotation with her. Like, she's like actually like really stupid. She's like actually like Dokkan Fest level. Like, if I were gonna rank, she would make my top 10. Would she make my top 10 Dokkan Fest T-Wars tier list? What is my tier list for top 10 Dokkan Fest T-Wars? And I'm gonna end the video here. Let's see, Dokkan Fest T-War tier list, or DFE T-War tier list. Let's see. Well, I can't find it. Yeah, Angel Super Saiyan 3, Oka, and Fappy. Would she make this list? Would she make it? You probably heard me a little right there at the end, but like, okay, let's take a look at the bottom of this list. Would she be on this list? Is she better than 21? Probably. She might be. Like, you could argue that. Is she better than Frieza? I would probably choose to use her above Frieza. Like, she would make this list. Like, she's she's so stupid. Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay, but that is that. I don't know. Okay, I just threw a bunch of these battery nets. I missed probably some of them that maybe I just didn't feel like were worth really noting too much. But there we go. There we have it. There's nothing in D tier, sure. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.